Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rumors of Heresy. Today we're facing Genestealer cults. This is match number 5 at the Rocky Mountain Open, which is a 6-round event. It's a GT, it's 200-something players, and it is a crazy big event. So, Genestealer cults, crazy faction, of course. And yeah, the Rocky Mountain Open is huge. So, guys, if you... just a reminder, if you want to support this channel, please just hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment, something like that to help with the algorithm. It really does help quite a bit. So let's jump into lists, shall we? All right, well, here's my list that I've been using the last couple whiles, units of time, the games, whatever you want to call it. Lots of flamers, lots of small units, folks, lots of vehicles. Just want to be flexible as I can. And I don't have a lot of experience against Genestealer cults, though. This is a lot of models. It's a whole lot of models. And I didn't really know how to approach it, folks. It was, there's a lot. I think maybe I even missed one of the Ridge Runners. Maybe not. You never know. He had a lot of stuff, folks. He really did. So let's just jump into it, shall we? Have you ever found yourself loving the game Warhammer 40k, but maybe loving the time you spend with a paintbrush a little less, or maybe a lot less? You wish that you had really nice looking models, but you know it costs way too much to pay someone to do it. Well, I found myself in that situation basically forever. I used to paint my models a long time ago, and then suddenly my life got super busy, and now I just use Frog and Bear Studio exclusively. They do such a good job on my models. I don't really know why I would look elsewhere. He charges a very competitive price. He does a great job. And folks, I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you, I get complimented on how nice of an army I have all the time. Several times every tournament. And of course, I just kick it back to him. I'm not going to take credit for it personally. But guys, this is an amazing studio, and you should check it out. And right now, the proprietor of Frog and Bears is running a deal, which is really good price comparative to other commission painting services. He's offering to paint any monster or vehicle out there for 50 bucks. Go look at the high quality level of any studio painting place and find a place that's going to charge you 50 bucks for a monster or vehicle. You just won't find it, folks. Maybe you'll find it for a really low level quality thing, but guys, this is high level stuff. It is amazing. And for this entire spring, this deal is open. 50 bucks on any or all monsters and vehicles. Guys, do yourself a favor. He does a fantastic job. Tell him Zareth sent you, please. Go follow him on Instagram or just hit him up on Discord. You can find his information in either the video description, or you can actually see the things listed on this graphic as well. Guys, do yourself a favor. Seriously, go check him out. Now, you'll notice that this is a little bit different than the other reports that I've done, and that's because I have run out of time to make these into the wonderful battle reports that you normally see. Well, maybe they're not that wonderful, but I just didn't have time to edit all of the different slides, and so we're going to be doing things a little bit more haphazardly today. And this is the deployment. I took all the pictures. You'll find, the folks, that I have kind of a bad attitude toward this game, and you'll find out why eventually. But this is game 5, and both of us are trying to go for a 5-1 finish at the end of the tournament, and so we're both gonna try hard. I don't know anything about Genestealer cults, really. I've played against him a few times. So we have this Genestealer group right here that are gonna be scouting up. These guys scout up as well, and then I think the other Genestealers are back here. though I didn't realize that till toward the end of the game. Yeah, you can see I think I did miss one of the Ridge Runners in my list. So there's one, there's another one, and there's another one. These guys just give +1 to wound, I believe, the entire rest of the game, or the entire rest of the turn. If they hit someone, it's either +1 to wound or +1 AP. It's a really hefty bonus for a thing that can shoot indirectly. So anyways, then he's got 2 big squads in reserve and maybe some smaller squads. You can see all this different stuff here on his trays. I don't know if he used all of these or not. It's kind of a mess. He just rolled his dice on his trays, which is fine. It's very, very challenging to keep track of. He'd just roll a bunch of things without me. Like, he'd be like, okay, like one more save. I'm like, what was that from? And we had a lot of exchanges like that, but we eventually sorted that stuff out. And then there's more guys here. There's a guy in there's some guys in a truck, I think, right here, and then there's some guys outside of a truck. I think that's one of the 20-man squads. It's a big, huge mass of guys. For my part, I kept 1 squad of Infernus in reserves, as well as Ballistus and another Predator, and I also a couple other things. We had the land speed, or the storm speeder, hammer strike, and 10 jump pack intercessors, which I'm wondering if this would have been one of those games that I should have kept the jump intercessors. I'm not really sure. I think that keeping them where they were was fine. In reserves, there's Vulkan here. He's just going to get onto this objective. And then, of course, we've got some scouts. We've got the Incursors. We've got the Predator. And these are the Infernus. So he wins the roll to go first. And this is one of those that I actually would have preferred to go first. Because he's got so much stuff. It's really tough for someone with this big of an army to actually, if they go first, they have positional advantage over you the rest of the game, and that's a really challenging thing. Now, I did put my Impulsor here a little bit out of the way, and I didn't want him to shoot it, but in reality, I probably should have kept it a little bit farther up, even if he could have shot it a little bit more, because the Blade Guard that's the one unit that I could melt one of his big units in one charge. Like, I could have just killed one of his big units with one charge with the Blade Guard, and instead they're way back here and they don't come into play for way later in the game, as you'll see. So anyways, he goes first, and you can see he's all the way up in my grill. He's got, I think this is a small squad that's on the objective, and then the big squad is kind of trailing after. Another squad, they're all kind of just moving forward. He's got Ridge Runners on the objective. He's got this guy, and then he also was able to get the charge with Genestealers on the scouts. They didn't kill all the scouts, though. In fact, I think they only killed 2 of them. And then the Incursors fared even, well, maybe not better, but 2 of them lived. And oh yeah, the Haywire mine, as predictable as it is, didn't kill anything. But the Incursors ended up killing 1.5 Genestealers. So we're doing okay on that front. Like his scouting Genestealers didn't quite kill my scouts, so that was good. And so we can move on to the next turn here. So yeah, I was able to fall back with the Incursors and shoot all but one of the Genestealers here, and then I killed the other Genestealer squad. Now this is the Purge the Foe thing, so it's kill more, hold more. And so first turn you don't do any of the kill more or hold more, but you do get 1 instance of primary for getting a kill. So I actually did get 1 up on him for getting a kill here on one of the Genestealers, and it was kind of nice. In fact, I was kind of glad I didn't kill this other Genestealer, because he could be used as a tally for kill more a little bit later. So Vulkan moved up onto the objective here. I think I moved just off of the objective. So we have the lieutenant, the combi lieutenant, like on the objective, and then Vulkan and company just like 1 inch away. It was an interesting thing this entire tournament. Vulkan never was able to get onto the objective on turn 1. Like, he just never rolled enough to actually get onto the objective. Like, sometimes he'd only need a 3 to advance, several times actually, and he kept rolling 1s and 2s, which is fine. It was just interesting. So I moved the Infernus up here just so that if he wanted to move with his oh, here's his other Genestealer squad. Okay, so I don't know what the heck those guys are. Probably on his point, probably the Acolytes is what my guess is. Just Acolytes to hold the rear objective, but one way or another, we moved the Infernus Marines, and I think they actually were the ones who killed the Genestealers here. But the idea was then if he moved up with the Genestealers, we could cook them with Overwatch. Now the Ballistas moved up and shot at these Ridge Runners and did 0 damage, which is fairly surprising because they're only 7 toughness. He just like totally whiffed, did nothing. Even with the moment, like I expected like at least I'll kill 1, maybe I'll kill both. Like it's you know, you typically do kill those things when they're made available, and especially I had rerolls to 1 on 1s to wound, and so with the moment I had rerolls to hit. And then I was wounding those guys on 2s with rerolls to 1 because this is the Combi Lieutenant objective. And I still, and I think, no, I didn't spend the CP for it. I probably should have, but he didn't have, I think he just passed his armor saves or something. Or maybe I don't know. I just totally whiffed. So no damage to the Ridge Runners. Really depressing there because, well, especially after you see what happens to the poor Ballistas next turn. So anyways, we're not in terrible position here. I did put my, I put my Predator up here because I have another Predator coming in eventually, and I just want to I want to stop him from being able to get farther into my backfield. We're just kind of stalling him out a little bit if we can. And I think the Predator was the one who killed at least some number of these Genestealers right here. Let's see, I think this guy shot a few of them. Mostly I rolled pretty bad this turn, but it happens. It does. So, let's see what happens here. This is just another picture of the same turn, it looks like. So, anyways, the Infernus eventually just get toasted right here. I think that they managed to, yeah, they overwatched and killed the remaining Genestealer squad though, so that was good. And then I think these are neophytes or something. It's a 10-man squad. They were up here. These guys with a leader, they were all able to combine to shoot down the Infernus, which is fine. The Infernus, you know, they killed the Genestealers. That's more than fine. The thing that really sucked, guys, is the Ridge Runners here were able to just shoot, and I mean, I don't know if you guys know how bad Ridge Runner shooting is, but they got crazy lucky and just killed the Ballistas. Like, the Ballistas was saving, I think it gave him armor of contempt and everything, and he was saving on like 3s because I had cover, and it was only a -3, and the Ballistas still just died to like a couple mining lasers, which mining lasers are like D3 shots, or D3 shot las cannons essentially, and just torched my Ballistas. Just I don't know what the odds are, but you know, it's like 10% or something like that, less than that. So pretty depressing there. The Ballistas just died like that. Over here we have we're kind of overrun. These are I don't know what these guys are. Another squad of 10 somethings. No one knows what any of these things are, guys. There's just a million of them. They have a bunch of arms. These are acolytes as well, maybe, or maybe they're neophytes. Maybe these are the guys from the truck over here. I'm not really sure, but they did finish off the incursors because I didn't hide the incursors well enough. I should have. And oh well, here's the incursors here. So I don't know what was over. Oh, it was the it was the Predator. And actually the Predator, I think I gave him Armor of Contempt too, and he still got killed. I think it was like a lucky thing as well. So I don't really know what to say. Like I just kept getting torched by stupid things this game. Which isn't actually even why I feel embittered by this game. So that's fun. And then up top here, I think the Combi Lieutenant survived the entire game, but these guys did land. I think that he did like a 6-inch deep strike, and managed to kill Vulkan and his squad, which I wasn't really expecting that the entire squad would just get evaporated, but they did. And then he's got more guys right here. Maybe they charged. This is the Combi Lieutenant. They charged the Combi Lieutenant and failed to kill him somehow. However, before that, I did manage to get Rapid Ingress with my Jump Intercessors. So we at least have the Jump Intercessors to like have counterplay his 20-man blob. He's also got 5 more of his, I don't know, they're not aberrants. I don't know what they're called, guys. Acolytes, they're the hand flamer guys. So anyways, we're just totally overrun. This middle objective, the top objective, all the objectives are doing fairly poorly here, and that happens. But we really need something to break here. Unfortunately, the Blade Guard are still way back here, so that they need to get back. They need to get into position to some degree so that they can start doing something. And I need to get my reserves in. So. Anyways, we've got a clapback coming, but unfortunately he's killed some of the stuff that would normally make a clapback do a lot more. So we did get a lot of reserves in. So up over on this side, we have Predator and Ballistus and a squad of Infernus here, and then you can see the Intercessors also kind of came over here so that they could get line of sight, and we killed that 10-man squad that was here. We shot some of the guys in the 20-man squad, and they have a strat that lets them just go into reserves. The second they take like one hit, they just like go into reserves, into deep strike. And so this 20-man blob was right here. I killed a couple of them, but they can regenerate and stuff. So we shot some of them off the board, which was cool, but they weren't all the way off the board. Let's see. So over on this side, the problem with this game, folks, is he got hold more almost every time because he held that center objective, and I think I could have stopped that from happening, frankly, if I had played the center of the board a little stronger. I think I could have, and I didn't. I think the Blade Guard could have probably killed most of the stuff in the middle, but they didn't. Or I could have put another tank in there and made sure the Ridge Runners died, or something. One way or another, we still have scouts and incursors still alive. Amazing. And I got kill more every turn. I'll just say that right now. I mean, he's got a lot of units, so he's getting an advantage though by holding he's getting hold more. I'm getting kill more every turn, which is fine. But one way or another, yeah. So we've got Combi Lieutenant still alive. The Jump Intercessors jump in, kill the entire 20-man squad here, and I think I managed to kill another squad of 5 guys here as well. And then the Jump Intercessors also just piled in to a 5-man Flamer squad. So the Jump Intercessors did good. They done good. That was their Oath of Moment, so they got +1 to wound, and they were wounding the guys on 2s. And then I think I gave him an extra AP as well. I think I went into a Soul Doctrine and gave him an extra AP. So it was AP 2. The guys barely even got saves if they even did. And I killed the character and all of the guys in there. Pretty cool stuff. So a pretty effective turn, actually. We killed a squad of 20. Made another squad go into reserves. And then killed a bunch of just smaller units as well. Though the middle is just, as I keep saying, it's been overrun. And there's not much recourse for that. If that Ballistus had still been alive right here, folks, or if he had been able to do anything to those Ridge Runners, things would be looking a lot better. But Instead, they don't. I also did kill like every last so all the Genestealers are just gone. This truck is the only thing holding this objective right now, even though, remember, he's got a 20-man squad waiting in the wings, and then he's got another 20-man squad that can go in to reserves as well, and then he also has a few squads that Genestealers can like recycle these squads and put them back on the board. So, I mean, he's not out of units or anything. So on his turn, let's see. So these guys over here, they just move up, and like they're still not killing the scouts or the incursors. It's probably just saving them to get kill more. Honestly, over up top here, he doesn't do anything either. Is this the same picture as last time though? Hold on. Am I just like taking pictures in duplicate? Maybe. It's very possible. Yeah, so yeah, on his turn, these guys come in and charge the Blade Guard Impulsor, which, I mean, that's kind of my fault. I could have set things up a little bit better, honestly, but I didn't. So he decides to deep strike his, 2 more big squads, and one of the squads that, so he deep struck, or let's see, how exactly did it happen? So these guys were able to reactive move. The jump intercessors reactive moved to something. Oh, I think it was these guys moved up to within 9 inches of him, and so the jump intercessors just reactive moved so that I would be outside of 12 inches of this squad, which meant that they wouldn't be able to do as much damage. And then this 20-man blob deep struck so that they could see them. These guys also deep struck. I think they did a 6-inch deep strike. These guys, I don't remember. The Genestealer cults are tricksy and strange, but nothing sketchy. These guys, I managed to do Armor of Contempt on his one big barrage of shots against me, and I managed to like evade the majority of damage because I wanted to get off of the objective as well. I think they do less damage to you while you're off of an objective. So one way or another, the jump intercessors mostly lived. A few of them died, but for the most part, they lived, and part of that is because he's shooting his heavy shots into the Predator, and the Predator just was fine. Predator was good. He mostly had a whiffing turn anyways. Another squad, so this is his other squad of 20, I think. Is this 2 squads of 20, actually? I don't know, maybe he used his points to bring back one of his squads of 20, because it looks like he's got all 4 of them back, so that's probably what happened. It's been a little bit since we did this, but these guys landed, but once again, they're outside of their rapid fire range, and so they didn't do a whole lot to me. I think I popped smoke, or I gave cover to these guys, or something like that, to keep them mostly alive, and I also, at some point, brought these guys, or brought this storm speeder into the back here, and so he's just going around and just killing things. I think at some point he went and killed the guys in the little corner here. He was just kind of jumping around and messing with people, which was pretty cool. I don't know. It was just a random guy in the backfield. So, anyways. So he's got the 2 squads down here, he's got the 2 squads here, and you can see, though, that the jump intercessors actually just went and killed another squad of 20, which was great. The Blade Guard get out, it's Soul Doctrine time, they get out and charge and kill another blob. So 2 blobs dead. Down here, another blob, another 20-man blob gets burninated and shot down and killed. The other one takes some damage and goes back up into reserve. So I've killed 3 of his 4 big blobs now. We're contesting this objective. Finally, the problem is he's made all these objectives sticky. And if I had been a little bit smarter, so this guy came over here, and I think I torched one of the Ridge Runners with him. I think I torched 2 of them, actually, over the course of time. But I killed all the guys off of his home objective, but it's sticky, apparently. So he still holds this, and he still holds this, And so even though I'm contesting this middle objective, he still gets hold more against me. Even though now that I'm thinking it, he didn't get this objective. He didn't hold this objective because we're in engagement range, so he can't actually hold that one. Because we're having his OC on it. And he's not holding this one either. So I guess this turn, I don't think he actually did hold more. I think maybe we miscalculated that, which is a little frustrating. But one way or another, he doesn't have much left here. He's got a couple guys in the middle. I guess this is the remains of that blob. I managed to kill both of the big blobs with the blade guard, and I mean, I'm just slaughtering Genestealers. He doesn't have much left. He's got like one 20-man blob that can deep strike again. Doesn't have a character and stuff, and you know, this objective isn't being held by anyone, but I also don't have anything to come and claim it, so that sucks. This guy could come over here, and at some point, I think this might be the final slide. Yeah, so here's the problem, folks. At some point, I looked over and he was just playing like through the middle of his turn. He was playing on my clock. And I mean, that sucks. Whatever. I was like, okay, well, let's flip it back over. I was like, hey, your clock. You know, this should be on your clock. And he's like, okay. And I clicked it over. And so, anyways, a judge comes by at some point toward the end, and he's like, hey. You know, like the game's pretty close, by the way. Like he's scoring a lot. We're both scoring a ton on primary, and so a judge stops by. He's like, "Hey, by the way, your clock is a little bit off. Like you actually have 5 fewer minutes than the total you have on your clock." And I was like, "Okay, well, is it okay? Can we just like figure out what, you know, like let's figure out. Let's like march through this as quick as we can." And my opponent's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And so we do. But you know, and it's like, well, I mean, the Blade Guard are going to kill these guys. There's no question, right? And then the next turn, he would have landed his guys over here, and I would have killed all of them as well. And he would have been tabled, essentially, right? So at the end of the day, I was like, okay, so, you know, so like, this is the final result. We're good to go. And he's like, yeah, we're good. And then he's like, well, thank God. And I was like, thank God? That doesn't sound like the type of thing someone says when they've lost, because I've beat him by 4 points, right? Like it's really close. It's like, or maybe by 6. You know, I'm like at 94 to 88, and he's like, well, because I won. And so we compared scores, and the whole time he hadn't been calculating my kill mores. Like he just hadn't been, and so he had me at losing by like 20 or something, and I was like, okay, well, let's figure this out. And so the second he found out that he wasn't gonna win, he was like, okay, well, we gotta call the judge. And so he calls the judge, and he's like, well, he's out of time and he can't be taking his turns. And I was like, what? He's like, no, I you know, like, he doesn't have any more time left. And I was like, he was using a ton of my clock. I don't. And the judge is like, well, that's your responsibility to guard your own clock. And I mean, that's probably true, frankly. But at the end of the day, because I technically couldn't have taken a turn 5 because he used all my time, I ended up losing by 4 on this fight. And you know, even though I was able to eventually just essentially table him, the Blade Guard were untouched. I think he killed 1 total. I think the jump intercessors ended up getting shot down eventually, but like at the end, he would have had this truck with a couple wounds left on him. I think that was what he would have had left. You know, and I still had quite a few things. Obviously a little out of position. Obviously misplayed some stuff, but. At the final result, he won 90 to 94 because I technically couldn't have taken a turn or moved any of my models or shot anything or charged at the Blade Guard, and So I talked to I was like, and this is very challenging for me I'm not a confrontational person. I'm not good at that. Frankly, it makes me uncomfortable. And, so I was still like, dude, look, like why this feels really disingenuous. Like, you said that we were good to go. You knew that you had played on my clock. And he was like, well, I was good with us doing that because I knew you were going, like, I knew that you were going to, I just wanted you to get more points because I knew you were going to lose. And I was like, but then, you know, like, we refigured out the scores, and he's like, yeah, and when we discovered that you actually would have won, then I had to call the judge to make sure that you actually could have won. And I don't know, like, I guess I can respect his inclination to want to give me as many points as I could in a loss. I guess I can respect that. I tend to do the same thing for my opponents. I'm like, well, you're good. If you're gonna lose, let's get you some points, right? Like that's fine. But then the second you find out you're gonna lose, like, I don't know. My feedback to him, which I told him, I was like, next time, either just give the person the points that you say you're going to give them, or call the judge and have it resolved way before. Because I was like, okay, I won, cool, like, awesome, we resolved it, he used my clock, it seems fair to me that we should be able to just walk it through. And like, some very obvious steps of, you know, like, this squad would all die. There's like 3 guys. He's like, no, we don't know if they would have died. I'm like, okay, all right. So, anyways, I don't necessarily, like, I ran out of clock, and at some point, I guess it's probably is my responsibility to guard my own clock. It's just, it feels very frustrating that it was allowed to go that far. And so I feel a little embittered about this game. Ended up with a loss when I felt like I had earned a win against a very challenging opponent. Against a very challenging foe that I hadn't, you know, I was able to pull the win out from the, you know, from the total brink of disaster. And you know, I didn't really find my opponent unpleasant or anything. I'm not trying to just, like, throw him under the bus totally. It was very frustrating, and I feel like probably both of us could have handled it better, right? And so I feel a little frustrated by this game. Not really blaming him all the way for it. Yeah, yes, I guess there is some blame. I felt frustrated, but you know, this was a good game. It was a good game up until the very end when clock issues came. And you know, this is the only round that I had anything approaching clock issues. I put a lot of effort into playing faster. He has way more models than me, and even though he did move pretty quickly, I don't know, I just find it hard to believe that, you know, the clock thing was my fault this time. But it was my fault for not guarding it, I guess. I just what are you gonna do? What can you do when you just you know, I was so focused on the game, I didn't notice the clock, and this happens. These things happen. So, good game to my opponent. I truly don't wish him ill. I don't, you know, I'm not trying to hold a grudge, but I wouldn't be presenting, like, reporting on that. It took me a while to even, for a while I was like, maybe I just shouldn't even make a report for this game. I don't want to just vent my spleen and be annoyed. I think there was a lot of good gameplay here. The Blade Guard came in clutch. The jump intercessors ended up just ruining everything. You know, he had so much stuff. We gotta. I felt like I played it decently, at least. We gotta improve on some things, but one way or another, folks, I think we're gonna call it here. We're not doing an AAR here. Let's. There is an event coming up though, and I'll be probably doing another battle report this style in just a minute for Death Guard, and that'll be released on the same day that I'm off at a tournament. So here, let's go to the final page here, folks. All right, folks. So the next event coming up is the Sandiest Slaughter GT in Albuquerque, and I put the link for that event in the video description, so go check that out. It's a GT in Albuquerque, and so I'm driving down to it. It should be really interesting. The reward is $1,000 of, I think, of store credit, but still $1,000. I mean, if you know anything about my background, if you've been following my other YouTube channel, a lot of you will know I'm currently unemployed, and you know, getting that kind of prize would be pretty cool. Not that I'm counting on it by any stretch. I think there's going to be some really good players there, but it'll be exciting to play for that, and I'll be doing reports for that. Guys, come join our Discord server. It's found in the link is found in the video description. There's some real discussions starting to be had there, starting to build a community. So come hang out with us on the Discord server, and come hang out on one day I'll start updating my Instagram more often, but I'll try my very best to do that for the Sandia slaughter coming up. Wish me luck, and stay tuned for another video, for another battle report against Death Guard in the finale of the Rocky Mountain Open, folks. That being said, let's close it down. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that if you didn't hear it from me, it's probably heresy. Take care, folks.